Hey y'all.
I'm always.
Hey y'all. Books.
Am I supposed to go
Books.
Benny and Sarah.
Books. We all know that a lot of YA novels, or anything that's related to supernatural, fantasy, dystopian, become a movie. So what followed was Twilight. You don't know. But we were actually pretty kind of obsessed. Well, I know for a fact
You
I was
were
obsessed.
very obsessed. I was like, I went to midnight premiere for like all the movies, but I wasn't like the way she was in depth.
I went to the midnight premiere of Breaking Dawn Part 1. I was in 5th grade at the time. Yeah, bro. That's how long it's been. I went to the midnight premiere with my cousins where we had a whole debate about Team Edward, Team Jacob. We promised we were going to make shirts for the second one, but my cousin moved out of town, so we didn't get to go see the second one together. But don't worry, I still went to go see the second one in theaters. So I was very obsessed with the movies purely because it was...
Love that.
It was one of the biggest, like, YAs, I guess, besides Harry Potter that had came out, and I wasn't even in Harry Potter at that time. Like, I didn't get into it till middle school.
Yeah.
So that was like my first like I died
serious fan.
Yeah, I fangirled so much over it because like I had posters in my room. Okay, guys, like I loved the movies, but I never read the books until more recently, and I realized the movies and the books
They're not the same.
They don't add up. Note, I wrote a 4-page essay for this chick for her English class based off of Twilight. Books are a lot better, in my opinion.
I liked the book. The part of the books that I did read, not my cup of tea, so I stuck to the movies instead.
Yeah, but the movies were still really monumental.
I say the movies win.
I go in between.
Next one's on me. And it's The Outsiders. Oops.
Love.
And also, can we just talk about... I got the 50th edition. I had to buy this for myself. So, I read that one in, like, 2nd or 3rd grade, something like that. And I like, loved it. And then I had already seen the movie at that point. And I love that movie. I mean, I can quote everything from that movie, okay? And then I think last year I reread the book, and it's literally like, you guys, this is like the closest that a book and movie, like a movie has actually been to the book. It has every single line the same as in the movie. So if you guys don't believe me, please watch the movie. No, please read the book and then watch the movie, and vice versa, whatever you want to do. It's literally the same exact thing. It is like identical to the movie.
Last time I saw the movie was 8th grade.
By itself, it's just amazing. Such an amazing book. And then such an amazing
interesting
movie,
time period too.
right? So, I don't know, my vote is both. Either or, it's the same thing.
I'm gonna just say the movie just because I only vividly remember the movie compared to the book. The Darkest Minds. So I jumped on, not this trend, but I read this book when I was a freshman, and I fell in love with it. It was just, it's such an empowering and interesting like trilogy.
It's such a good topic too. It's like
it's very relatable. The movie first started becoming like known that it was gonna actually be filmed and all that. I was stalking nonstop.
She was. I mean, all the notifications.
I mean,
everything.
I was there from the moment that they like said that Chad Hodge literally posted the screen of The Darkest Minds, and I was like freaking out. So then I was there when all the casting process, seeing Amanda,
and that's when she started to like freak out and tell me to read this book.
I was freaking out. I was telling everyone I knew. I was like, please read this book. Please, it's gonna become a movie. Like everyone, whenever there's a movie coming out, you have to at least try to read the book because it helps you get
Nova, shut up.
It helps you get so much more excited for it. So eventually, when I say there was about maybe 2 months or 3 months until the trailer drops, I convinced her
to read the whole book.
I definitely preferred the book.
100%.
to the movie, but the movie, the cast was the chemistry was so. We went to the premiere.
We went to premiere. We took our friends a few days after, and then when we were on vacation, we went a third time
again.
We went 3 times to the movies.
Paid willingly
to watch
this movie.
Vote book over movie, but movie was.
But I still urge you guys that you should either read or write, because it's such a good story. The trilogy is so good
that I've yet to read.
The hate you give. Okay, so originally I had wanted to read the book, but I hadn't got there. I got there first.
I finished that book in 2 days. I was just obsessed. It was something I could not put down. I didn't avoid family time, but I was definitely making the book a top priority. It was that. That book gives you so many details that are important to the actual storyline, but it again, they took it out of the movie.
Yeah, when I first started reading it, I was reading it on breaks at work. Eventually I was going out of town, and so I was able to finish it in the car. And let me tell you, I texted the heck out of her because I was so emotional, because the last bit, the movie, it made it seem so intense, but if you read the book, the last bit, because I just hate that they didn't put Chris.
Yeah, because it's literally
important.
It's super duper important. It's so intense. It's a good topic. It's a very
relevant and good topic. Exactly. And ironically, Amandla, who plays Ruby in The Darkest Minds, plays Star in The Hate You Give,
which she's our favorite actress.
So overall, I prefer the book.
I prefer the book.
But the movie had some good plot twists.
And the ending of the movie shook me. I was not expecting that ending at all.
It was Twilight. Was completely when different. In Breaking Dawn Part 2, they had that vision scene that wasn't in the book, so I didn't know what was going on.
Right? Okay, so see, it was
it was just, the book is so good. Please, I recommend.
The book is, it's fairly big if you're not a reader, a avid reader the way we are.
But it is written in a way that us young adults would definitely understand.
It's relatable, and it's something quick that you're not. I'm telling you, you're not gonna want to put it down. It's not been released.
The Raven Cycle. Okay, so there's been rumors. Well, they've kind of confirmed that they are making a TV series for it by Sci-Fi, which is so different because normally Freeform or one of those would take that.
CW, the bigger
or
ones.
Or AMC, stuff like that would take it. But this is being produced by Sci-Fi, and it's such an incredible book. It's such a good concept and book, and it's such a good coming together story with that slight twist of a supernatural sense. If you couldn't tell, there's a theme going here. And on top of that, I'm really excited to actually go through for us to go through a process together of watching the casting, of watching any teasers, of any trailers, and
the notification signs on. So interesting.
And it's not such a popular book either. It's more of a low-key one. I think I love the concept of TV shows because you can put so much more into it. You can keep it going.
Add
you can
details,
do more background.
all those extra details that movies take out for time period purposes.
Mm-hmm.
TV shows add that in.
But I'm so excited for the Raven Cycle, which you'll probably hear a lot of once it's more news starts getting updated. It's supposed to be coming out this year. So, probably soon, within the next month or two, we'll start getting updates. So book adaptations are so important because it helps bring attention to the books for those that don't know reading. Because I fell in love with reading just by watching books that had movies. Okay, so I hope that you enjoyed and maybe shared some of our views on our favorite books and their adaptations or upcoming adaptations. And if you actually end up reading or have read, let us know how you know. And I guess we'll see you on Wednesday. Which
we have a good vlog for you guys that we postponed.
Okay, but we impulsively did something, and you guys will
find out on Wednesday. Live life
and peace out.
Good night.